Well, hi again, you guys. Welcome to another edition of Curtis Collects Vinyl Records. And this is going to be kind of a special edition. They're all special to me. But this is a concert review. So my wife Nancy and I went to a concert last night up in the northern suburbs of Illinois at a really cool place called the Fuel Room, Austin's Fuel Room. And we saw John Waite there. And John Waite has been one of our favorites back through when he burst on the scene with the band Babies, and it was a really great show. It's a great venue. So he's touring right now this winter 2020 with a really outstanding combo. Nobody I'd ever heard of, but a lot of his songs had some keyboards in it, and I think the one guy on the keyboards left to go to Journey at one point from the Babies. And actually backing vocals, and the recordings have horns and all that, but he's touring with just a bass player, a terrific lead guitar player, a great drummer, and then every other song John Waite is either singing without playing a guitar, or sometimes he's got an electrified acoustic guitar hooked up. So as we do on some of these, we go through and I show the album covers that I have by the Babies / and or John Waite. But the show was great, really fun venue, and so we're really glad we went. So before we get to the song we're going to play from this record, let's talk about some of the other records that we have down here in the record room. This is one of my all-time favorites. It's called On the Edge. I have a marker here on here with some tape. This tape does come off. It's drafting tape, so it doesn't really harm the record cover. But it gives me a quick reference to say, okay, I love side one, and this is really cool for a couple of reasons. One, side one on here, Turn and Walk Away, Sweet 17, She's My Girl, Darker Side of Town. It's the best 2.5-minute song I've ever, well, not quite. The Beatles have a lot of 2.5-minute songs that are awesome. And then Rock and Roll Is Alive and Well. So, couple of things. This was recorded at Sound City. Now, if you guys know me, you know I love Sound City. There was a documentary that Dave Grohl put out, the Neve Board, the great records that were made there by Pat Benatar, Damn the Torpedoes, Tom Petty. So many great records were made at this crazy recording studio in Van Nuys, California called Sound City. And of course engineered by Keith Olsen. So here it is, On the Edge, love it. Here it is, this is called Broken Heart, with the great song on here, Isn't It Time? Produced again by Ron Nevison, recorded at Hidden Valley Ranch, wherever that is, and Ron Nevison again. Here they are. I don't know the names of the other guys, except we should have Jonathan Cain on some of the earlier records. Maybe even this one. This is called Union Jacks, and here they are. The players: Tony Brock, Jonathan Cain, Ricky Phillips, Wally Stocker, and John Waite. This must be early because Jonathan Cain went off to join Journey. Good for him. Here is, I think, their first record. They were a 4-piece band then. Awesome. Here is Anthology, their greatest hits. He did all the great songs. He did all, of course, the songs that John had. Of course, this was a monster seller back in '83, I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess 83 on here. We can use that later. Oh, I have to make another public service announcement. So, this is John Waite. Of course, he played his monster on here. Missing You, which sounded great. And then here is a solo record by John Waite, and I think it's worth showing. There's a poster inside here, so I bought this. Didn't know it had here, but here's this poster. So while I'm unfolding the poster, so somehow YouTube has disabled the comments feature from all of my videos, which really sucks, because I think it's a nice interaction for you guys to be able to say and correct me. Oh no, that wasn't recorded there, or did you know so and so was on that record? And you guys are great about commenting when you do comment. That's very nice, even if they're not positive. I don't really care. But somehow I've got to go to the settings on all my YouTube videos and revert back to allow comments. And I think that had something to do with like parental controls. So look at this thing. I know there's probably some glare. Oh my God. All right, so let's get this song fired up. I was going to play on here this great song, Every Time I Think of You, which was a great arrangement with the horns and the backup singers, and he did play that last night. But instead, we're going to play the next song called I Was One. I'd never heard it before right a few minutes ago, and I thought it was good enough to select. Wow, well that's a deep track for sure. What a great song. I bet they have lots of great songs that, I mean the Babies we're talking about, with the great John Waite, that just don't get played. They were quite significant. I'll get the rest of these back up here. So, another little announcement. I'm having a guest up here on the next two sessions that we make here down in the record room with Curtis Collects Vinyl Records. I'm inviting my good friend Spencer to come over. He is going to guest host 2 episodes. I think we're going to do 2, for sure 2, on his favorite band of all time, Rush. And I know all of us in the rock and roll world and beyond are mourning the loss of the great Neil Peart, the drummer who influenced, had uh, such a wonderful career, and apparently from everything we've read, such a great guy. And so Spencer's going to talk about Rush and specifically some songs that he likes, and he's going to bring his records over. So check back for that. Thanks again for watching. I'm going to try to get the comments functioning going again. And that's how this works if you're new here. So we enjoyed the concert with John Waite last night, and we'll make a couple more of these and look for the my guest coming up in a little bit. This was another edition of Curtis Collects Vinyl Records.